Hello, church. We're looking at Ezekiel chapter 21 and 22 today for our daily Bible reading. Word of the day is Exalt. Now, as you're reading through these chapters, you might say, well, nothing really seems to be exalted here, right? It seems like God is telling them that Babylon is going to be the sword of judgment, the instrument that God chooses to use to punish the people of Israel for their sin. Is going to then go in chapter 22 to list the sins that the people of Jerusalem have committed. Before we get to chapter 22, in chapter 21, picking up in verse 25 through 27, reread this. Now to you, O profane, wicked prince of Israel, whose day has come, whose iniquity shall end, thus says the Lord God, remove the turban and take off the crown. Nothing shall remain the same. Exalt the humble and humble the exalted. Overthrown, I will make it overthrown. It shall be no longer until he comes whose right it is, and I will give it to him. Right, depending on your translation there, those last few pronouns, he and him, in the New King James that I'm reading out of today is capitalized. That's showing that the turban and the crown is symbols for the religious and political leaders of Jerusalem. They are going to be overthrown, right? In fact, overthrown is stated 3 different times as an over emphasis that there's ruin, that there's destruction, that this what has been in place will no longer be in place until this capital H, he, comes. So who is that speaking about? That is speaking about Jesus as the Messiah. So political and religious leaders are getting overthrown for their sin, and the coming one, the one who is humble, who will be exalted, is Christ, right? This is, once again, a messianic kind of prophecy here showing the judgment of the people of Israel until the Son of God will come to rectify the problem, the one who is truly to be exalted. So we can jump forward to Philippians chapter 2, where we see this same thing being pronounced, or into the book of Hebrews, chapters 5 and 7 deal with this as well. And so, once again, just the beauty of God's perfect timing, God's perfect knowledge of how all these things are working together for the good of those who love him and for his own glory. All right, church, let's exalt in the one who has come to solve all these problems, Jesus Christ. Have a great day.